everyone. Happy Tuesday. You are in studio with Rob. That is right. It is the Boss Show today. You know it. Bruce is going to be here on Thursday, but tonight we got a lot to talk about. I have started my path down a wrestling career. That is right. A wrestling career. You believe it? I didn't think you would. I am going to go and show you some pictures of some people I made friends with at Versus Pro Studio. That is where I am doing my thing. So I hope you guys are going to be able to stick around and catch that. And it is going to be crazy. There's a lot of comedy this week, and I am going to be featured in something called a Pokemon battle. Pokemon battle. Don't know what that's going to be about, but we'll get into all of that as the night goes on. Now, you know, I got to share what information I can, get all the info out to fans. So right now, I don't really have anyone producing this shit. So I'll be straight. I don't have anyone producing this shit. It's just me, and then on, and then when I can, Bruce, and it ain't too freaking helpful. So what I got to do is literally go on my own YouTube page, YouTube it up, go to my page, copy the link, send the link. And, oh my God, I'm going to be annoyed already because I had to redo a whole bunch of stuff tonight. And, yeah, long story short, I am basically like a one-man show here. So if anyone wants to come in and be a part, help produce, any computer nerd type people out there, we'd much appreciate it. And I'm pretty certain today it's Tuesday night, so I don't know why my ungrateful friends are not online and watching, but we'll get to it. We'll get to you all. But right now I'm grabbing my channel, which is empty for some reason. That's not right. So I'm going to sign out and figure out why the hell ain't nothing there. Sign in. Use another account. Let's see if this is the one, my Yahoo page. Yeah, that'd be the one. So yeah, so Bruce, what he is doing is he is doing his show at what used to be Chonkless. So what used to be Chonkless is where Bruce is right now. And he's doing his thing. And then tonight, after Chonkless is done, what Bruce does is he takes the show over to the Champagnes, which is right across from where my training went tonight. So my training was at Versus Pro Wrestling. Mark Fabell, what's going on, man? Long time no see. How are you doing? My training was going on at Versus Pro Wrestling. And it was pretty awesome, I'll be honest. It's you really get a new appreciation for the whole sport of wrestling. And this is me and some of the guys. Now, my buddy to my right is my friend Dier. Now, Dier's going to be training soon. He's going to be wrestling. So we're going to be doing a lot with him. And my goal is to be his manager. That's the goal. My goal is to be his manager. So right now I'm training at Versus Pro Wrestling and Versus Pro Studios, and they actually do live events there. They have their own kind of podcast type thing, and they're on Maryland Parkway. And every conversation always ends up at Maryland Parkway because there's a lot of good little restaurants there. It's right where UNLV is, so there's a lot of shit happening on Maryland Parkway. And there I am. I actually like that picture. I might make that my profile picture. Right now I've got this really fruity Facebook picture. Like, I'm not going to lie, my Facebook profile pic is over the top, flamboyant. And I'll be honest, yeah, I did it on purpose. But here, that's my new profile picture right now. And there's an app that lets you take any picture and turn it into a 20th century or 18th century oil painting. And I look fucking beautiful. I look damn beautiful. But somehow, your boy got himself into a Pokemon battle. And I don't know where that's going to be. It's probably going to be a Monday night. And it's probably going to be a dive bar. I don't know what that is going to mean. I don't know what that's going to mean. Uh, Somebody tried to call me out. Somebody who was basically Bruce Leonard Jr. And this fool tried to call me out, talking about he's some sort of military expert. Now I got nothing but respect for people who serve, but sometimes maybe you don't remember what the hell you were doing out there. I don't know. I don't really care, but a homeboy was talking some craziness, absolute craziness about all the weapons of mass destruction and everything he saw in Iraq. And some of the stuff he was saying, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this isn't right. So he started arguing with me. So I did the smartest thing I could do, took the conversation to my left, spoke with somebody else who, by the way, had also served, and at the same time this guy did, and we just ignored him. And I'll be honest, I cannot remember his name, but this fool had the audacity to try and call me out on fucking Dive Bar last night and tried to diss me, you know. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to try to act bigger than I am. I'm a little older than I should be. I had to move in with my dad. It happens. I'm not a 1,000,000% happy with it, but the guy tried to call me out on it, and that's when I let him have it. I'm like, look, man, how you going to call me out, man, coming up in here, man, trying to talk smack to me, man? You look at that car outside, man, that's a Camaro V6, man. You don't even got a V2. You don't even have a damn moped. And yeah, I work at a shitty job I don't like, man. It's called a job. It means I make money. I'm not fucking doing no handout. Now I see the bridge, man. So I don't know what this is going to be on Monday, but we're going to go at him. Your boy, boss, we're going to go at him. We're going to take it to this fool. I don't know what he's on. And I'll be honest, I still don't know his name, because basically the guy's not even that important to me. But it was amazing that he remembered who I was, but I didn't remember who he was. Let's put it like that. I'm going to take a swig of my 99 for that, because we try to keep it 100% here, but sometimes 99 will have to do. Peanut butter whiskey. Got this at the Indian reservation. This shit is bomb. It literally tastes like a hard peanut butter, man. And that's exactly what the fuck it is, and it is damn good. Oh, but it didn't scare everybody off my peanut butter whiskey. No, man, I'm about having fun. So what we're doing the comedy. Last night was a dive bar. Tonight, if you're doing comedy or you just want to be a fan, there's so many places. You've got the two places I mentioned with Bruce. Randall Crab Meat Thompson is doing the Artisan. He's got an open mic at the Artisan that ends just a little bit after the show. And then Wednesday night, you've got Chonkla's. You've got Rick's Rollin' Smoke. There's so much coming back. And I don't know. I'm of the opinion. Yeah, we'll definitely do that, Mark. There was so much going on out here, but I'm finally of the opinion that I've got my second vaccine. I'm really done with the whole mask thing. I really am. And in my job too, they're still making a big deal of, corporate wise about the mask, but no one's really bothering me if I don't put my mask on, and no customers complained yet. We're at that transition phase, and my attitude is, if you're going to be a little cavalier about it, at least be vaccinated. But it makes me wonder now how many people are running around just kind of trying to blend in with the crowd and claim that they've gathered some sort of herd immunity because my neighbor got the vaccine and he's the guinea pig. Ha ha. So we won't go too far into that, but yeah, please, by all means, Mark, when you come to Vegas, so many years. Mark is one of my oldest friends. I've known this guy back since, Jesus, the 7th grade. And he's just doing some wonderful things. So I always want people to feel free to plug whatever they're doing, because respect respects respect. In other words, I respect if you want to put out your info, put out your job, put out your business, what you're looking to do. And as long as you keep it respectful, we're good. Green Day. When I was in high school, when I was in middle school, there was a Mark, and then there was a friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours named Kevin. And from 7th to 8th grade, all that mattered to me was Green Day Dookie. That was the fucking, music of my life. That was my fucking soundtrack. I had the cassette of Dookie. I had Dookie on CD. And I also had a cassette of the album that Green Day did before Dookie called Kerplunk. And I had that shit on a cassette somewhere. And I had a Honda Civic 94 with the cassette deck. Well, see, what people don't understand is, Mark, you made me a copy of everything that Green Day ever did on cassette and gave that to me. And I still have those cassettes to this day, And I don't think we have to talk like anyone who's, watching is not old enough to know what a cassette player is. But that was just the best. Lifelong. But yeah, Green Day Kerplunk was the album. Green Day Kerplunk was probably my favorite thing that they had. And let's see, get over. Yeah, there we go. That was my favorite Green Day album for the most part. Was Green Day Kerplunk, man. That was the one that, here we go. So it's got the missing the logo under there, but that was the one that came right before Dookie, which was like their most famous album. And that was before they went mainstream. When they got Dookie, by the time they did that one, that was kind of like they were mainstream by that point now. I mean, now they're on MTV. And a lot of these songs that they had on that album were songs that they had been doing since they were in like school. Like, you got to remember, like Billy Joe and them were a band back in high school. They were a band back all the way in high school and had a lot of their songs already. So the stuff that you heard after their Dookie album was, that was everything that they did after that was like really new music, because everything they had done, before really was really nothing new. It was just, stuff that they had already, songs that they had already written, and that they were just doing, versions of over and over and over again. So that's where you got this one. And that's like the one everyone knows them for. But that wasn't their start. They had 3 albums before that. Maybe 2. Maybe only 2. But had 2 or 3 albums before that. And then everything after that was new music. But that, like, Green Day is my shit, man. I still love Billy Joe Armstrong, Trey Cool, and I can never remember the bass player's name. No matter how many times, I can never remember that dude. I can never remember that guy's name. So help me out there if anyone knows that one. But I want to get back to, basically where you're going to be able to find me, what I've been doing. The comedy was an offshoot. Well, not even an offshoot. It was me wanting to have a venue and to be able to do my kind of bitching and moaning and griping, my kind of Italian Jewish-esque type shit that for a New Yorker like myself, and people out here think that I wear a New York hat kind of like an accessory. No, man, this is who the fuck I really am. Mike Dern. I always forget. This is really who I am. So when I'm wearing something like that, people out here, and I consider this West Coast, they think it's just a gimmick. They think I'm just doing some sort of weird gimmick and I'm just being a marker. No, man, that's really, I am from fucking Westchester, New York, and Bronx, New York. And I say Bronx from 1 to 10. I spent every other day in the Bronx with my grandparents, not because of on some poor shit or anything like that, but because that was my family. I'm raised Italian. I'm adopted. I'm raised Italian. You spend as much fucking time you can with your parents, with their parents, parents, if you fucking can. Having good food, too. I mean, if you're in the Bronx, you're having good food. You go into Sal and Dom's Pastries on Allerton Avenue and getting strudel and cannolis and pignoli cookies and then the Napoleon cookies. I mean, you're talking about the Columbo's Bakery right below the corner of Allerton and Barnes, where my grandmother lived on the 5-story walk up. 3rd floor. Now it's like a fucking nail salon or some shit. What we're talking about right around that corner was a fucking White Castle. The fuck do any of you here in Vegas know about a White Castle? They got 3 of them. They're pretty terrible. But in New York, that shit is like, that's like fucking God. That's the best. Now, my buddy over here, I think you're in Pennsylvania right now. But even if you go to Pennsylvania, if you go to Connecticut, if you go to New Jersey, wherever you go, they could pick you out a mile away if you're a New Yorker. It's not a gimmick. It's the same thing. My neighbor's from Boston. That's who he is. He's from fucking Boston. It's not a gimmick. It's not something you're just putting on. That's who he is. You know? Somebody said to me, and it was the same stupid shit from the comedy club last night. I was trying to talk shit. He goes, you wear a New York hat. And the only reason I'm not wearing this is because it's getting disappearing in the green screen. But you wear a New York hat like a Southerner has a Confederate flag. Oh, what kind of shit is that? But I thought about it from a pride standpoint. Yeah. I can see that correlation. From a pride standpoint, yeah. You know? Cortland Manor, Mount Vernon, Yonkers. Fucking, what do you know about Getty Square at 3 a.m? New York is pride. There was a mutual friend. I want to say mutual friend. I don't know if you knew him because you went to a different high school that I did, but you went to the same middle school. There was a guy. I have a 914 to this freaking day as well. I will not get rid of my 914 area code number. When I moved out here, I still kept the 914. I don't have a 702. I never got a New York cell phone 917. I never got an 845. I never got an alternate, Nevada 725. I have a 914, which is usually a house number, and I'm never getting rid of that number. To me, I love that number. It's like a mark of pride that I've got a Westchester cell phone number, and it would be stupid to anybody else. But for me, that's a big deal. For me, it's a big deal. But it's living out in Las Vegas is weird because people that have lived here forever or lived here an extended period of time don't have an identity. And it's going to say, well, that's a fucked up thing to say. No, people really don't have an identity out here because there is no individual culture. Texas has a culture. Oh, thank you for reminding me. One of my good friends, I went to his wedding. It was the last time I saw him face to face. Was Tom Mendes. Now, and it took a while to say this, and I'm really embarrassed to say that his wife sent me a letter asking me to write, my final thoughts, and I never got around to it. It's only until yesterday, or the day before, where I actually sat down and put pen to pad and wrote what I really thought about the guy a year and a half after he died. And I had gone to my high school prom with his sister, Kelly Mendez, real sweetheart, loving mother and wife. And she calls me up about 2 years ago and says, hey, Rob, it's Kelly Mendez. Do you remember me? And yeah. And I said, yeah, of course. I didn't get all mopey on the phone. Oh, we went to the prom. No, I said, yeah, of course. How could I forget you? Saw her 4 years earlier, maybe 6. And Tom Mendes, for the purposes of the guy in our group here, Mark, would have been and I don't know if he made it. He moved into Shrub Oak, Yorktown area a little bit later on. Would have been in what was called the Blue Team. See, me and Mark went to a place called Copper Beach Middle School. Now, back in the day, now it's one of the top middle schools in the country. Now you get a good education. Back then, they had red, green, and blue team. Green team, where I was, meant you were, an average student. We were average students. Blue team meant you were destined for Ivy League, and red team meant better learn how to box, better learn how to post up. They're going to fuck your ass up. And eventually they got rid of this fucked up little caste system, but Tom would have come from the blue team. And what I can say about him is, besides being intelligent, there were people who had an affinity for learning. That means it came naturally for them, learning and absorbing books. Maybe you didn't know what the colors were for? Jesus Christ, yeah. They realized that system was, I don't want to call it racist, but it was basically, we were in the green team, we were average students. They were going by GPAs from our grade schools, and that's how they were placing us. So if you went to what they called back then GT, which was the after school program for the gifted kids, or maybe gifted time, I don't know what the fuck it ultimately stood for. Your ass was going in the blue team. Blue team meant you were Ivy League bound. Green and red team, you were going to get your teeth kicked in every time the bell rang. Green was not so bad, but it would intermix with the blue team. They had their own wing of Copper Beach. They were segregated from everybody else, and there were Hispanic and black kids there, but one or two. But it was really about we're placement. You didn't know in grade school what they were setting you up for. It was placement. And then when you got to the middle school in Lakeland School District in New York, the middle school was just, the filter. And then of course you had the filters, and then you had proximity. So if you were on the west side of the town, you were going to Walter Panis or Yorktown. Well, you wouldn't be in Yorktown for what we're talking about. You'd go to Walter Panis High School, which had state troopers for hall monitors. And if you're going on the east side of town, you were going to Lakeland. And Lakeland had its people, but it wasn't as bad as Walter Panis. But some really good shit came out of Walter Panis. They had a better music program. The honors students, it was a lot more chill. It was a more relaxed environment, it looked like, and it was a bigger campus, so they could do more. Whereas Lakeland was kind of cramped. It was nice, but it was cramped, very cramped. But that was what it was all about. But Tom was this guy. He died, and when I got to his funeral, on the table, and I want you to understand, this is an Ivy League Cornell graduate, works for Goldman Sachs. The picture of him on the table, him and his son wearing a Yankee hat, I started blubbering. I started crying, because to me, that's how I grew up. I grew up knowing that I lived in a state that was the best state in the world, with the best team of the world, and it was a treat. It was a privilege, maybe a right. Like, it was my right as a New Yorker to be able to go there and experience this game, like my father did, like my grandfather did. Do I take pride in being a New Yorker? I love that. I love going to Allerton Avenue. I love seeing the Bronx. I love New York. Every fiber of my being, balls to bone, head to toe, man. That's home. This is where I live. This here behind me, all that shit is where I live. New York is fucking home. When they tore down Yankee Stadium, I was a fucking mess. And for retrospect, let me see if I can get, that's the real deal in the corner. That's the real Yankee Stadium. What they built looks like it, but it's not. Okay? You got to understand where I'm coming from here. You got to understand my heart. Okay? If you have a dog and you tell me your dog is a pit bull, and you raise the pit bull, and the pit bull raises you, from the point you're 5 years old to you're 15 years old, you've got this pit bull. Let's call him Yank. And that pit bull is with you. You grow with him. He grows with you, and then he dies, and you go, shit. Well, that's life. I got to move on. And your folks get you another pit bull, and they go, you could call this one Yank, just like your first one. And you go, whoa, no. What was. What I had is gone. And I can acknowledge that, and you can get me another pit bull, and I can fall in love with it, but that's not the same as the Yankee Stadium that stood off the Major Deegan that I grew up with, my father grew up with, and my grandfather. Yes, they renovated it. But the last thing I saw when I moved out here was the crater where Yankee Stadium stood, and I was destroyed inside. And you go, man, that's an inanimate object, man. You got to be an idiot. No, man. You took away a member of my family. You took away a home, a house. So when I see, go to a funeral and my friend dies and his wife, who's not even a New Yorker, she put his Yankee hat on the table right next to the picture of him and his son wearing theirs. He was taking tradition, legacy, and pride and transferring that over to his son. So that son will look back on that picture and understand where the hell he comes from. And not to be upset or ashamed by it, but be proud of where you're from. So when somebody talks some dumbass shit from Ohio or some shit, I don't give a damn where you're from, man. But if you don't know where I'm from, and you say something like you wear a Yankee hat like a Southerner has a Confederate flag, I'm torn between that because, like, on the one hand, that's some real stupid, ignorant shit to say. On the other hand, I get it because there is a point of pride, even for them to say that's my heritage. This was a unifying flag for 13 states in the South, or what have you. Well, my history of the Confederate, the Civil War and the Confederacy is not up to spec. So I was like, this guy sitting across from me, and I'm just like, I don't know how to react to this. Because I don't know if he's trying to be a fuck with me, trying to be a smart ass. I don't know. But it's okay because I know where I'm from. And when I'm confident in myself and I know where I'm from, you can't shake me. Because I can say with 100% authority why I wear what I wear and do what I do. Not because I'm trying to look like Jay-Z or some shit. Jay-Z was trying to look like the rest of us. And that's what you saw. And now other sons of bitches come out there and I got a green one, I got a blue. Yeah, I got lots of different color hats too, man. That don't mean shit. This is what matters to me. That NY logo. I'm a big fan of Howard Stern, man. I want to really model a career like this after Howard Stern, but at the same time, he says some stupid, infuriating shit sometimes. He was talking to Gary Dell'Abate. Gary Dell'Abate is the big horse-tooth jackass guy from the Howard Stern show. That's what they call him. They call him the horse-tooth can't even spit my words out. Horse-tooth jackass. Let me see if I can get a good picture. That's the producer for the Howard Stern show. Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. And he was talking to Howard Stern, and Howard Stern goes to him, how the hell do you wear a New York Yankee hat every place you go? Don't you want to be part of the team spirit? If you visit another stadium, wouldn't it make more sense that if you're going to Wrigley Field to wear a Cubs hat, wouldn't it make more sense that if you were going to another park, if you're going to Fenway to wear a Boston hat, you got to be out of your fucking mind. I'm a New Yorker first. I'm a New York Yankees fan first. I have loyalty. And someone wise once said, be loyal to what's loyal to you. I get that. What I'm talking about, even just watching a team, even though the teams changed, Jeter and all of them are gone. It's a whole different team of guys. They're not doing well. It doesn't matter. It is a shared experience passed down. Not angry at people who don't understand. You come in there and you go, oh man, how the fuck could you fucking wave a Confederate flag? I get that to a degree. I get it to a degree. But at the same time, this is why I got doubly angry at Trump supporters. Because the guy is a New Yorker from Queens. Never done a stitch of hard labor in his life. Ever. I'm going to talk and pick up your vote. And you voted for a New York liberal in the truest sense of the word. And Trump's a Hillary supporter. Always was. Up until it came down to And you're going to tell me that that guy gets you. As the saying goes, you're a special kind of stupid. That's why I got angry with some of y'all, because come on now, man. You know, if Bernie Sanders came out here with a fucking Yankee hat, you go, really? If Jeff Bezos said, I'm a New York fan, and painted an NY on the fucking side of his Blue Origin rocket ship and tried to go east side, all that stupid shit. You go, what a fucking poser. What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? But Howard Stern was complaining that Gary Dell'Abate was a New Yorker, a New York Yankee fan. And Gary said, no, man, I stayed loyal, man. I stayed focused on the one team. And Stern was sitting there being all indignant about it. No, shut the fuck up, man. You are from Roosevelt, Long Island. You get either the Mets or you get the Yankees. If you're in Queens, you usually pick the Yankees. Now, my father was raised in Queens, Ozone Park, off Atlantic Avenue, which runs through to Brooklyn. And he goes to me, Bobby, when I was growing up as a kid, there were the Brooklyn Dodgers at Ebbets Field, later on the Mets, and the Yankees. And you always had the feeling that if you were a Yankees fan, you were literally a fan of a higher class of team. There was something special about it. My father went out of his way, could have gone to Ebbets, was closer, could have gone to Shea Stadium before Citi Field. It was closer. No, we made it a special mission to get to the Bronx to see the fucking Yankees play because they were a better team. And somebody's running their mouth last night trying to talk like, oh man, you wear this as a joke. You're a New Yorker. Yeah, I am a fucking New Yorker. The fuck is your problem about it, man? I'm happy to be where I'm from. That's okay. I've got no problem with Mets fans. Boston fans are a whole nother thing. But I'll tell you this. Now that I live in Vegas, if I run into a fucking Red Sox fan, I treat them a little nicer. I treat them a hell of a lot nicer because they're Northeast. Northeast is another thing. You can sit there talking New York, but Northeast is a culture. Boston, New York, Philly. Oh, I'm making the whole Northeast corridor is a culture unto its own. If you're in Providence, I got friends in Providence, Boston. I got a cousin who went from the Bronx to Boston. I don't know why the fuck she did that. And then she moved to Texas, moved to Austin. What's up, Adam? I don't understand that one at all. But when you're over there and you're talking like I'm talking, maybe you're from Chicago too. Chicago is not Northeast, but it might as well be. If you're from Chicago, yeah, look. It's the 90s. Adam's trying to poke the beehive. What do you think about Biden being made fun of? Hey, look. Here's what I'll say about that. New York is the best fucking place on earth. Fucking is. If you don't understand that, then you go there. And don't go to fucking Central Park. And don't go to the fucking museum. Go to the Bronx. Go to the Bronx. Go to Arthur Avenue. Get yourself some good fucking food. Then go up and down Fordham Road and get clothes, whatever you want to buy. You'll find it there. And you'll be so goddamn happy you went. Then you get on the D train and you go back downtown. And you'll be so fucking happy you went. Mark, you take care. Lifelong friend, Mark Fabell. And hey, if you want to plug anything, I know you've got your own business and things. you feel free to. And if you ever want to just, come on here, you can come on through Skype, and we can talk about it, or through Facebook Messenger, and talk about what you do. That's great. Now, Hawaii, I ain't gonna lie, I've never been. But if I got to pick an expensive place, I'm going to pick an expensive place with the best food from all around the world. But all right. Now, somebody asked if I wrestled. You came in a little bit late. I did. I did, actually. I didn't lock up with anyone. They took mercy on me, and I'll tell you exactly how it went down. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to exit out. I'm going to show you some pictures from what I did tonight, and then I'll talk about it on the back end. So this is what this is Versus Pro Wrestling, and it's a promotion, a very small promotion that is at the Boulevard Mall. And I got to be honest, it was my first day, and I got my little Vegeta costume on and everything. My first day, first of all, I got to work on this gut. I ain't gonna lie, I got to get rid of this. This fucking, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to say it was the pandemic. It was just me being a fat fuck and having a job now where I sit in a cubicle all day. But hey, I got promoted at my job, so now I get to move refrigerators again. Maybe that'll loosen up some of this fat. So yeah, so that's me at Versus Pro Wrestling. My friend is the guy to the right. Now we have a mutual friend named Markus Dietz. And Markus Dietz is a comedian, and Markus Dietz is a wrestling promoter. And he went to this guy right over here who, as of yet, his in-ring name is going to be Degenerate. And I'm going to be his manager. That's the idea. And the guy right here in the middle is the trainer. And I'm going to be honest, it's my first day and I'm bad with names. So he goes to me, what are you looking to do? And I said, I want to wrestle. And he goes, what does that mean, you want to wrestle? What does that mean to you? Well, I want to manage this guy. And what do you think that means? Are you going to take bumps? And I said, yeah, I'll take bumps. He goes, let me see what you're going to do. And I described to him that I was looking to be like something along the lines of an MVP or a Paul Heyman. And I'll pull up, if you don't know who they look like. Actually, yes, that is a trans white woman. They refer to her as a she. Did not get the name, but that is a trans girl. Absolutely. And she wrestles everybody in there. She's real tough. She does a good job. I would say, probably judging by her moveset, I would say she's probably about 2 to 3 months in. The guy on the left in the luchador mask and this guy over here are just beginning their in-ring careers. This guy here is Spider-Man. That's his gimmick. He is that. He has all the moves of Spider-Man. Don't know enough about him yet. This guy is an excellent, trainer. He knows all the moves. I gotta, spread out the guests, and that's my lazy way of saying I really didn't push to get anyone this week. Because I was really focused on a lot of other things, like making sure that the delivery crew would come and actually install freaking pedestals in my house, so my dad doesn't have to bend down to go do the laundry. And they did. And they did a good job, I want to say. AOC would be proud. Okay, I don't get that one, but okay. Sipping on this 99-cent peanut butter whiskey. If you live in Vegas, I got it now. If you live in Vegas, go to Moapa, exit 75. I don't know if they have this crap anywhere else, but they have this at the grocery store there in Moapa on exit 75. It's $1 and it is fucking delicious. 49.5% alcohol, 99 proof whiskey. And it's fucking good. Well, so we were talking about that. And he would say that the trainer was going, basically, MVP's delivery is really smooth. And he comes out there and he talks really smooth. Now, let me tell you something. I have been to meet MVP because a lot of wrestling happens in Vegas. John Moxley lives in Vegas. MVP, Rob Van Dam. I've seen MVP. I didn't get to talk to him. I didn't introduce myself, but he's taller. He's probably about as tall as this guy right here, and he's older. He's got white hair. They dye it for for WWE now. But these guys right here, it's hard to tell. He's got some heavy duty leg braces on. He's got damaged meniscus and ACL. And that's the one thing, I worry about that shit. But what they had me do is he had me get in the ring and he had me do rolls. That's the first thing they teach you to do is rolls. And it is not intuitive. Rolling in the ring is not intuitive. And the ring is not hard. It's not soft either. It's neither. But you literally are you're basically knuckling up like a gorilla, knuckles in front, and then you're putting your weight forward, tucking your head and grabbing your knees, and you're rolling forward. You got to roll forward, straight line. That's a big thing. I mean, you just got to be straight line. You're going forward, straight ahead. And well, first of all, XRP, I've seen that shit. I've seen what you just described happen in Portland, and I've seen it in San Francisco. Filthy people are ubiquitous. New York City's got them. Giuliani cleaned that shit up back in the day. Now he's a fuck, but here I am. I'm gonna make that a profile picture. I just like that. That's just so fucking cool, that picture. I really do like that picture. So that was the first day. I didn't get any action pictures. That's what I was looking to get, with some action shots. Wasn't able to procure any action shots. I was focused on just getting there. And the other thing was, you gotta get I had to get new sneakers. I had to get new sneakers for the ring there, because they don't want a lot of germs and tracking in a lot of garbage into their ring, and I respect that. So I went out to Foot Action, one of those fucking places, whatever, and famous shoes or famous footwear. I got some new Nikes that actually match what I'm wearing too, which is ironic. Matches my ring attire, if you want to call this ring attire. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing the kick pads and the knee braces and all of that shit. Northeast is just more civil. Northeast is older. You got to understand, there's 4 quadrants in this country, and I really want to nail this down, because this is a concept I think sometimes will go over Bruce's head, that we have 4 Americas. You've got the Southeast, the Northeast, the Northwest, and the Southwest. The Southwest and the Southeast are anything goes. Whatever the fuck you want to do, you do. It's your damn right to do it. But the Southwest does that shit with a more liberal flair. Because I've gone into shooting ranges out here, and you've got some hipster chicks carrying fucking heaters. And you wouldn't expect that shit. Some chick with fucking sandals on there. Northwest is all the identity politics, AOC, the stuff AOC's somehow got lumped into, and all of that kind of Berkeley shit. That's your Northwest. Northeast is, I am, if anything, a Democrat, because I'm in a union. Well, I'm educated, and I gravitate more towards that, and I have a formal education. Northeast is, yeah, my costs of living are expensive, but I'm also paying to live in New York City. I'm paying for the access. I'm paying for the trains. I'm paying for the buses. I'm paying for the airports. I'm paying for the upkeep on everything that you see around you. But I'll tell you right now, what my Vegas people don't understand is when you go and you get at a fucking gyro stand, the best goddamn gyro souvlaki you've ever had, and it's spilling out of the little plate they gave you, and it's $4, and you just got out of a Subway. And someone says, bro, don't spoil your appetite. There's better food than that. That's how deep New York goes. Vegas, I've been talking about Maryland Parkway for months on end because some of the best food right now is on Maryland Parkway. There's Spring Mountain, Maryland Parkway. Spring Mountain, Maryland Parkway. Now, I'm sure Hawaii's got some nice shit. It's Hawaii. I wouldn't expect anything less. Asians, Southeast Asians, Pacific Islanders, whatever you want to call them, they can cook. But New York, if you've got some amazing Southeast Island, Pacific Islander food, there's somebody in New York making it. I'm sure there's some place called Mahalo Grill in New York. I don't know it for certain, but I know it's there. I know you'll find it. Fast food game out here is strong. There's more choices. But I don't care about more. I care about quality. The only thing that I miss, I should say, that I don't have in other cities that I have in Vegas that I like is tropical smoothie. I had that shit for lunch and dinner. I love tropical smoothie. Peanut paradise with fucking whey and a Chipotle Club wrap with a green apple. And if I don't get the green apple, I'm getting those, I don't know what they call them, Mrs. Fields or whatever, those kettle cooked jalapeno potato chips, because those are pretty dope too. That's the only thing in Vegas that's innately Vegas where I'm like, I miss that. I could go for that right now. But quality, man, you go to Texas. Yeah, Texas has got the barbecue. They've got some big, sloppy, heavy, delicious breakfast. But past that, there ain't shit going on in Texas. Unless you're some outdoorsman guy, there ain't shit for people like me. My friend Tyler took me out to do some line dancing. Don't touch my heart. My achy breaking. I don't do that shit. It's not me. It's fine for some people. It's not me. You look at that face. Does that face say line dancing? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Is that a Northwest face? No, 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 no. Roberto's. I just had a wet burrito like 2 days ago from Roberto's. That shit did not last very long, I'll tell you. But there's a better place on Maryland Parkway and Tropicana, right next to the Yanteria. I don't know the name of the taco place. The tacos are The salsa verde is woo. That salsa verde. When the heat and the garlic come together, woo, woo, woo. That is I took 4 mini cups of salsa verde for one burrito at that spot. That's how motherfucking good that salsa verde is. It's like pollo chulacán or something like that. It's on Tropicana and Maryland Parkway. So if you're going east on Tropicana and you pass Maryland Parkway, there's a tire shop on the left. It's like blue. There's a taco truck right there. Make it your business when you're in Vegas to go there for the salsa, for the green salsa. Darius Rucker, I want to say no. I want to say no, but I know who he is. I want to say no, but I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. Filipitos. No, no, it's a taco truck. And it wasn't there until recently. It was on another street. It was on Topaz. This place used to be on Topaz. That's the problem with these food trucks. In Vegas has some great ones, but the food trucks have no real address, no permanent address. And there was a taco truck in front of champagnes, and he's gone. And it was a great truck. That was a great taco. I loved it. I loved it. It was a great taco, but they're gone. Wagon Wheel. Listen to that strong. You'll have your mind changed on country. I don't dislike country. I've heard Chris Stapleton, and I'm like, this guy's kind of cool. This guy's kind of cool. I thought Lil Nas X was supposed to be some sort of country dude, but I don't know what he is, man. But I mean Johnny Cash and there's a lot of shit that I like, but it's not. It doesn't hit for me. The moment I hear lyrics about a pickup truck, you lost me, man. You lost me, man. I'm a fucking city suburbs guy, man. I don't know shit about pickup trucks. I don't give a. And that's the thing with Vegas, man. Vegas has no identity, so people are rolling hard with that shit. You know, you drive to Utah, there's nothing but pickup trucks. That's all they have. There's no fucking Miatas in Utah. You couldn't get on the roads. You go to Arizona, on your way into Phoenix, yeah. Because, like, if you're going from Vegas to Phoenix, there's nothing there. There are no stops, but Kingman is like, Kingman was a rest stop that just became a town. There's nothing there. Like, nothing there. You got a couple of dispensaries, some Native Americans selling fucking, wind catchers and bullshit. There's nothing there in Kingman. So you're taking the 11 or the 7 to the 93 and making your way into Phoenix. And when you get to Phoenix, Phoenix is kind of Vegas. Kind of Vegas. I stopped at Kingman and I got out, took a piss, stretched my legs, and then went, it's going to be another half hour till I get home. Because there ain't shit to do in Kingman. Arizona, I have a friend named Fernando, and this son of a bitch is chasing pussy to Phoenix. I mean, shit, I better wake up and have my breakfast served, my lunch wrapped and ready to go, and something that I can get hot, and the dinner better be the most bomb dinner that I'm going to go across state lines to go to Phoenix. Now, the people in Phoenix are nice. Don't get me wrong. Phoenix is not a shithole. I'm sure they've got the shithole parts. Kingman is a shithole. Phoenix is Phoenix is taking Vegas and taking all of the flavor out of Vegas. Phoenix is like taking Vegas and taking all the color out of Vegas. Get rid of the slot machines, get rid of the bright lights, get rid of the endless food opportunities that you could get on the strip if you wanted to go crazy one night and blow all your money. Phoenix is literally tasteless Vegas. Just bland, early bird special Vegas. That's what Phoenix is. And my friend Fernando is jumping ship so he could go over to Phoenix. And I'm like, damn. Phoenix. I don't know, man. I think that's going to be my question for the day. Well, look, the reason why men are acting like females is a mindset that I know all too well, that I have suffered from. It is a scarcity mindset. It is a scarcity mindset. In other words, instead of being whole within yourself and knowing who you are and just locking you down, what men do these days, what males do, is they go, well, shit, I cannot be alone. I financially cannot be alone. I cannot financially be alone, and I'm honest with that. That's my situation. It's not a great one. But what guys do is they go, well, I don't have those kind of options. I don't want to roll with my folks. I'm going to find a woman and I'm going to date her. And if she's cool enough, I'm going to get to go home every day and I'll have pussy on tap and she'll cook for me and I'll have somebody to split the rent with. And that's a shitty ass idea. It's a horrible mindset because you ruin lives that way. A lot of my friends have ruined their lives with that shitty ass mindset, that codependent bullshit. And they can't be by themselves. So they sucker somebody in. They doll themselves up. Get your hair done up. If you're a white dude, you get the Hitler Youth comb over. If you're a chick, you get the little frizzy perm. And you go out there and you get your roommate. And for the first few weeks, you're fucking, you're cooking, or you're going out to eat because, what am I saying cooking? What am I talking about? That's some 20th century bullshit. What happens with these people is reality catches up with them because you don't have your mind locked down. You don't have yourself locked down. What I'm saying yourself locked down is that if the other person was not around, would I still be able to get through my day and my week and my month and my year? Would I still be able to put food on my table, in my mouth? Could I do my laundry? Could I survive on my own? Do I need the attention of another person? That's what I'm talking about. See, I got friends who got divorced and get remarried on the day the divorce papers signed. And I go to them, man, calm down, you're fucking up right now. And I wouldn't be your friend if I didn't fucking enlighten you or unlock the window for you to let you know that you were making a mistake. Not because that person is not nice, not because that person is ugly, not because that person is a bitch, but because you are not right in the head to do your own shit. And what ends up happening now is now you're living with this person, and God help you if you get pregnant, because now you're locked. Hurt feelings are easy. My answer in that is you take him, you walk his ass down the street, and you look at every guy walking with a girl that you know he regrets being with. And he's got that kid, and he's got that look on his face. That look of the hopes and dreams down the drain, off the cliff. I don't have a girl right now. I'm not that butthurt about it. I've got friends. I've got people that I've hooked up with that means something to me. But a wife? No, I don't have that. And I'm not crying about it. I'm not looking for that right now because I'm not secure in myself. I don't have a parachute right now. My parachute is still being stitched up. That's the way you have to look at life. What is your parachute? Or do you have a hang glider? Or are you a pilot? If you're a pilot, parachute means if I fuck up with what I'm doing, I could get by, maybe a few months or a year, and I got my parachute. Hang glider means, shit's going right for now, but it can go sideways. Pilot's license, man. You want to be a pilot. That's what you want to be in life. The whole point of life is being a pilot. If you drive and the car breaks down, you walk. But life isn't like that. There's no walking from one place to the other. You hit the fucking earth hard these days. So you got to be a pilot. And that's the way you got to approach life. I'm a pilot. I can take off. I can go where I need to go. I can land. Meaning that if I don't do what I'm doing as my day job for a little while and I take a break, take a vacation, put some time back into me, I'm not going to be fucking hurt off that shit. My wallet is not going to be crying. My apps aren't going to be locked out. That's what I'm talking about. Bill Maher. No, I've got shit. I love Bill Maher. I watch him every Friday night, man. Real time with Bill Maher is the shit. He can be a dickbag. He fucking gets too comfortable sometimes, like when he made the house nigger joke, but he could be a dickbag sometimes, but still he is the best mind on the left. I'd love to see him debate somebody like a Sean Hannity. I think Sean Hannity, because they're around the same age group, would be the best fucking pairing for him, because he would kick the shit out of Sean Hannity. I think for Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carl, whoops, Tucker Carlson, he needs. I don't know who could debate him if there were a debate. I would like you would like to say Trevor Noah, but no. I think Jon Stewart still would be the best. I wish that son bitch would come back. I know he was getting too old for it, but we needed him those Trump years. We needed him in a bad way. And I think he looked at what was coming on the horizon and said, this guy's going to win. I don't want to be here for 4 years. It's going to be too much. And, but Jon Stewart, man, I'd love to see Jon Stewart debate Tucker Carlson. And I'd love to see Bill Maher debate Sean Hannity. I think that would be something worth watching. A long time ago, Jon Stewart debated Bill O'Reilly. And he said, it must be lonely on Bullshit Mountain. And he repeated that line over and over and over. Bullshit Mountain, over and over again. Anything that guy said, anything that came out of O'Reilly's mouth, Bullshit Mountain. And the funny thing is, it amazes me. There's like a recipe for Fox. All of those guys, the most successful late night staff, were really all a bunch of smart ass Irish guys. And it's always the same shtick, always the same routine. I'm gonna keep slapping the beehive, and then I'm gonna get stung and claim to be the victim. It's amazing to me, but it's the same shtick over and over again. Like, it's interesting. You know, one thing I learned today: when you want to be a smart ass and you're doing comedy, and you're telling jokes, and you're doing you. When you're sitting there and you're trying to manage a guy, for 2 seconds in, I realized this is a lot harder than it looks. When you're sitting ringside and you literally have to run interference or start running your mouth, having some shit to say, being distracting, you gotta basically do a roast. You gotta be like roasting a guy all the time. That's the idea. You're roasting a person. You're roasting the other guy for as long as the match goes. An 18-minute nonstop roast where you only take breaks in between to say something uplifting to the guy that you're repping. So if you're watching, AEW and you got Taz in there and he's got his whole crew in the ring and he's got Powerhouse Hobbs and he's going, no, stop, don't get a guy. Well, the guy said to me today, man, the person who's training me today, he looked at me and he said, man, whatever he feels, you feel. This guy right here. Whatever he feels, you feel. That was it. So if he's hurting, you're hurting. If he's happy, you're happy. And now you got to think about that on the fly. And that's a whole new thing because it's a whole new skill set. It's a mechanism that I've never really used necessarily before. When you're doing like a roast battle and you're just making fun of one person, but now, and you've got to be aware. And see, this is what's amazing about. I've never even thought about it before. The guy was training us, and I apologize immensely because I am fucking awful with names. I really am. It takes me a dumbass long time to memorize names, but my goal is to be able to have people. In all of these various fields and whatnot, well, I should say fields, but all of these venues come on here and then, show you what they can do. And that's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is by far one of the best managers And they're saying, you do realize when he's doing, like when he's managing Brock Lesnar in the ring and he's just screaming, choke him out, Brock. You know, he's calling moves because he's so you're not even now. I'm learning. You're not even just okay. I'm doing my thing. I'm being a positive guy in the corner. No, I'm calling out shots. I'm calling shots. You're calling moves. The guys. I mean, you see the guys when they're linking up, and you're trying to find an organic place, and they're whispering to each other. You see them do this. They're calling moves, and you're watching it, and I'm watching these guys train, and calling out their moves, and it's literally the best way to describe the whole Paul wrestling thing is watching people who have who have moves. They have a library of moves, and you know what that library is, and they're gonna call out the moves, and you're gonna need to know how to react. You need to know how to lock the person up properly. You need to be able to listen for audibles. And I really learned now just how like scripted, as Bruce likes to say, WWE is, where they're calling moves from the booth down to each guy. But this is still a sport. There's still an end goal. There's still an end game, and it is definitely something I knew in the back of my mind. Something I knew in the back of my mind, but something that I now am getting to see firsthand. So the respect that I had for this guy jumped up astronomically, because this guy is now also responsible for the outcome of the match, along with the wrestlers, along with the guys in the booth. This guy is literally, there's a reason why he's out at that corner. He's at that ringside because he's doing a job for a guy, Brock Lesnar, who might not be as skilled in a WWE ring. He's pulling double duty. Like the amount of responsibilities that this guy has while that show is going on live just grew exponentially, and I didn't know it was going on to that extent. So I'm the kind of person, I get anxious and I want to interject and have my 2 cents. And this time I sat there and I shut my mouth. No, Eric Bischoff is another guy. Eric Bischoff is a damn genius. But you got to still find a way. It's not enough to be athletic. You have to find a way to sell it. And I'm still a visual person, and I'm still a person that must be entertained. So I'm watching a Charlotte Flair wrestle Rhea Ripley last night, and I'm not entertained. And Charlotte Flair is a physical specimen, an amazing athlete, doing things in a ring that anyone at that height, should not be able to do with such flexibility. And I'm not entertained. She's boring to me. Her moves are deliberate and slow, and there's a reason for that, because you've got to conserve your energy. You're in the ring for 20 minutes, 2 commercial breaks. So I get all of that now, but at the same time, I'm still not entertained, because there's nothing electrifying about what she does. Whereas Asuka comes out there. Asuka's my favorite. Asuka is my absolute favorite wrestler probably in WWE right now. Asuka is just pure energy. Just pure, like fucking beautiful, perfect energy. And you just I'm gonna, I love the energy. I love the energy that she puts out every time she wrestles. I love the energy that she has when she comes out and wrestles, it's just fucking incredible. She is by far my favorite. By far my favorite wrestler in the whole damn WWE. Because you just can't, she's manic. And that's what I like the most. I like somebody who's just so freaking manic, but I also like the way that they just portray her. And it's just so fucking good. Yes, she can wrestle. That's besides the freaking point. But she's entertaining with every move that she does. And now that I've gotten some insight as to the levels of work that you have to do the job and be safe at the same time, that makes my love for her just grow deeper as a performer. And my appreciation level of what she does is just fucking insane. And you got to remember now, these people are calling shots. She's got to sit there and start calling shots out of the language. There's a whole bunch of things that your gaps and divides. It's like, to me, the way I'm understanding this industry is a doctor writing a script for a medication, and they write in Latin. And the reason why they write scripts in Latin is because it can be read universally anywhere across the world. So these people are going into a ring every night and doing moves that the other person is going to know what's coming up, how to deal with that. No. Stacy Keibler was a valet turned wrestler. Asuka was a straight wrestler all the time. Stacy Keibler was a valet turned wrestler, and that's fine. Happens all the damn time. But Asuka, here she is a few years earlier. Asuka's a wrestler all the damn time. That's Asuka before she was in the WWE. And look at it, almost the same damn gimmick when you really get down to it. Same look, same costume, same ring attire, same gimmick. She found her spot and she maintained it. Stacy Keibler was long legs. Stacy Keibler was long legs. She's hot. Is she going to be some Hall of Fame wrestler? No. I'm typing her name in right now. It's hardly coming up. I mean, is she gorgeous? Yeah, sure. But I mean, her whole WWE gimmick was she has legs. That was her gimmick. Her gimmick was she has legs. That was her gimmick. Oh, I got the legs. I'm gonna do that slow crawl into the ring because I got these long legs. Trish Stratus, best of all time. Yeah, definitely. But I'm gonna say it again, and I'm a mark for her. Maybe, and I was around to watch Trish Stratus, obviously, so I'm still gonna go Asuka. She's got a bigger library of moves. Way more entertaining. Trish Stratus was another valet. Trish Stratus was a chick that Vince McMahon dunked her head in a fucking bucket of shit. Because that's how they treated women back then in the 90s. Is Trish Stratus great? Yeah, and I think as I go further into this, my thoughts and my opinions will change. I'm really more a fan than anything right now, but an opportunity came, and life is weird for me. You know, life is fucking weird, and so I'm doing this shit now and figuring out what is going to stick for me. But I think I might be calling it a night. And I appreciate you guys being with me. Yeah. And XRP, you stuck through the whole way. And I appreciate that. No, Flair is fucking great. There's a lot of people who are great. There's a lot of people who are great. Flair is definitely one of them. And yeah, if you want to say Flair's the best of all time, well, fuck, why not? Why not? I think he's got more. I think he's got more time than Hope, and he's definitely earned the right to be number one on the hill. But you will see me again on Thursday, hopefully with Bruce. I don't know where. Maybe he's gonna have a show or not. If Bruce does not have a show, he will be here. If he does have a show, then I will be either going and doing it solo, or I will grab another guest and have somebody in studio with me tonight, or Thursday night, I should say. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you. You've all been great, and we will see you in 2 days.